Hi everyone, this is Jayla from Studio Jayla, and today we are going to do a celebrity chart reading. Yay! Actually, my friend gave me this amazing idea a while ago, and I've been thinking to make a video, but now here I am. So today we are going to do like a quick mini chart reading, but only the visible part through his natal chart. I'm in general quite skeptical about the celebrities chart reading. Before we start the video, I want to make a point really clear that I do not know this person personally, so I don't want to misguide or spread the wrong information about him. So I am depend on based on the piece of information on online, and I'm gonna explain why in his natal chart this is such a visible point. So I'm gonna explain those parts by the natal analysis, and I hope you enjoy the video. And if you want any celebrities or K-pop idol, whoever is going to be, if you want me to do the natal analysis, please leave the comment under my YouTube video, and I hope you enjoy the video, and please watch this video just for fun.
Okay, so today we are going to do the chart reading of Bangchan. He's from Stray Kids. He born 1997 October 3rd, 8:54 p.m., Seoul, South Korea. He is a Gemini rising, ascendant in the 7 degrees, air sign, and he born with a night chart because sun is below the horizon. And usually when the person born during the night, Saturn is the most malefic planet, and then Mars, Venus is the most benefic planet, and Jupiter is after. Let's start from ascendant. He is a Gemini rising, and usually people who born during the Gemini rising are really want to know kind of everything. At the same time, they're really good at a lot of different things. They're quite knowledgeable. They're good at argumentation. And his ascendant is in the Jupiter's decan and Jupiter's bounds. I don't know if you're familiar with the bounds and decan, but Jupiter decan is a bit of like a sword 8 energy. Is a in general Jupiter is a benefic planet, right? But Jupiter doesn't like the Gemini that much. So it's a bit of detriment there. People who has this Jupiter Gemini decan ascendant, they are going through quite a bit of opportunities. But at the same time, because of the modality wise, don't know where to go and also a bit of lost. Imagine when you have too many opportunities, you kind of it's easy to get lost, right? So this is kind of that kind of energy. And his bound is also Jupiter, I mentioned. And Jupiter is a really benefic planet. However, in this bound, it is a bit more philosophical kind of energy. Like to explain and explore more, especially when it comes to the business, and want to write and explore a bit more in writing and anything related to the communication. And what I found quite interesting is that his ascendant is a Gemini, and then his Mercury is in the fifth house. Fifth house, I see the stellium in here, which is, if you don't know what the stellium is, if I explain briefly, if there is more than 3 planets in one house in astrology, we call it stellium. So I see Mercury, Sun, and Moon, So those are three planets, right? That's Stellium on his chart in the fifth house. And it is kind of showing there is a connection from the ascendant and the fifth house. Usually, Libra also is not a huge fan of Sun, but still, there is like ascendant, Sun, Mercury, trine to the ascendant, and then also having a reception, so which is getting quite a bit of support from his ascendant. So his ascendant ruler, Mercury, is on the fifth house. This is pretty interesting, but his Mercury is also a bit of combust by his natal sun, which is like 8 degrees away from the sun. However, still, it is a little bit of confrontational or hidden uncomfortable energy behind it. And usually, fifth house is related to the creation, art, children. We can call it also the copyrights, good doing things. He's a bit expressive. He has the energy to express his emotion, his behavior through an art or even a songwriting. Because he's, according to the piece of information I looked up online, he does write the lyrics and the music um, of his Stray Kids group on his own. So that is like also showing his fifth house stellium works pretty well in his case, even though the Sun and Mercury is a bit like having some friction. I forgot to mention, but also his triplicity ruler is Mercury, Saturn, and Jupiter. So Mercury roles pretty important role in his life, quite a lot, since it's his ascendant and triplicity ruler. So fifth house matter. The fifth house is taking quite important role in his life, and Mercury is in Libra and then is in Moon's decan and Saturn's bound. So he is quite serious when it comes to his work and creation and the project he's working on. He has like a discipline, but at the same time, he also probably does self sacrifice, could be the cases. Maybe, he is even a people pleaser. He does care about quite a lot of how other people think of me. Because this is like unspoken kind of energy as well. And he also get along pretty well with the elderly people, and he also has those kind of authoritative vibes. Sun is in Saturn's decan and Mercury's bound, so that is like a sword three kind of energy. It's like he's chasing success, but he also felt pretty much pressure on his fifth house related themes, and at the same time, he felt very tied up with those things. He may felt a little bit disconnected or burnt out if he is chasing the fifth house thing way too much. But it's like pretty hard but pretty difficult and giving him also a lot of oppressive energy sometimes. The another prominent thing in his chart is that Sun opposed to the Saturn that is located in his 11th house. And Saturn is also in a retrograde as well. What I think is he was in a traineeship for a long time, and that is also one thing that is associated with the group, right? 11 house theme. This is also Saturn is the most malefic planet and the most difficult planet in his chart, so he probably felt a lot of difficulties to get a chance to get a debut. That I see fifth and 11th house Sun Saturn opposition, and also they are not having a good dignities. That's why it is also giving him a bit of difficulties in his life. He's going through a lot when he was young, and that's what I see on his fifth 11 house connection. Um, Also, Sun is trying to his Jupiter and MC as well. And what I see is that his job or his art creation could be related to the ninth house theme. Especially ninth house is like philosophy, traveling, divination, astrology, higher education, being away from his country. I see the connection, and I found a piece of information online that he, after he born when he was young, he moved to the Australia. He immigrated to Australia. His entire family did that. And usually that's also like I see the ninth house theme. Like people are moving away from their own home country. They born and they moved, or people are doing studying abroad. And also ninth house theme is related to the abroad in general, so it kind of shows that as a stray kid, he is going or moving around quite a lot, country to country for his performing. Signification of the how does it relate it to his job and the foreign country. And continuously, there is a moon also on the fifth house, and moon is in the decan of Jupiter and bounds of the Mars. And those Jupiter decan is like a sword for energy. It's like a balance, harmonious in your life. Okay, continuously, we're gonna look into the moon. Moon is also on the fifth house, is 29 degrees, which is in astrology we say when the planet is kind of hanging on 29 degrees or 0 degrees. It could be quite hard. Anyways, Moon is in a Jupiter's decan and Mars bounce. Jupiter decan is more like a sword for energy. It's like a balanced, harmonious thing in your life. Moon doesn't really like the Marsy energy. So probably he also felt a bit of like commander feelings, especially his moon rules his second house, Cancer. He felt a bit rush, or he also felt a bit of like commander energy when it comes to how he makes money as well. Like how he earns, possess, making money, he felt very, very like, oh, I'm in a rush, you know? Regardless, this was the fifth house, and let's move to the sixth house, because I see the most benefic planet, Venus, is there, and sixth house is a Scorpio. Venus is in detriment, but Venus is in Venus decan, and Saturn's bounds. So this is like quite interesting point of view. When Venus is in Venus decan, it is more like the energy itself is like novel fantasy kind of energy. It's like a cup seven. It could be intense, especially when it comes to the love and relationship. If it's regarding to the sixth house theme, it is going to be more how I earn money or physical health related. So what I see or what I could tell is that because his Venus is in Venus decan, it could be he's earning money through because it's like related to the everyday money, how you earn money to live every day. And this is also related to the art and music industry. And it is also connected with the fifth house Libra, because Libra, Venus rules the Libra. but I see the connection with sixth house and the fifth house. So there is a connection. That's why I see a little bit of like a music industry and his connection on the sixth house. And I see the 12th house Taurus, then this is also a bit of Venus ruler. And this also could be his, deep down emotion related. He try to express those feelings through the music or the art piece or anything related to sixth house theme. So yeah, he is really good at music making, and he live his life with making music or being an artist expressive, but at the same time it is also a bit of like need discipline. Despite of the sect ruler, still this is quite a positive. You need sometimes discipline in the music, making music, being an artist, and sixth house Venus is showing him that he is living with the music. Making a music is something giving him an everyday money. And let's move to the seventh house. And I see the seventh house is a Mars, and it's in Sagittarius. Mars in Sagittarius, Mercury's decan, Jupiter's bound. I don't really normally include outer planets into the natal chart reading because outer planets is more like a generational planet. However, I see quite interesting point of view on his natal chart because I normally don't really include outer planets for the natal chart reading because outer planets are more generational planets. However, I found it very interesting in Bangchan's chart because Uranus conjunct Mars in an exact 3 degrees, So this is quite interesting, and I would like to address this point a little bit. Anyway, let's start it from Mercury decan and Jupiter bounce. This is like seventh house theme is like a human relationship, one-on-one relationship, partnership, serious relationship, right? Love relationship or just a business partner. It is related to a one-on-one relationship. And what I see through his chart is it is fast energy. It is like a shifting quite hard. It's like a 1-8 energy. However, the decanic problem kind of pops up because there's a lot of people around him, and Uranus conjunction with the Mars is giving him like crazy change in his seven house theme. This is just my personal opinion, but probably going through a fast changing experience when it comes to the one-on-one relationship. So it could be the thing that he changes his friendship or people around him quite often or quite a lot, or it kind of also gather together and then separating really quickly kind of energy. It is intense and quick, fast, because Mars is fire and Sagittarius is also fire energy. And it is like also related to the sixth house and the 11th house theme as well. It's very much independence energy and more you are not really rely on other people, but you survive your own kind of energy. If I move to the ninth house theme, because I see also I explained briefly when I explained to the fifth house, but it's also quite like connected with the fifth, seventh, and the ninth house. Jupiter is like 3 degrees close to the MC, but is in retrograde. He born during the retrograde period, but next stationing direct is like 5 days away. So when there is a Jupiter retrograde, he might probably felt a bit that energy. You know, maybe he will miss his home in Australia or being abroad, you know. Those kind of energy probably he will felt quite strong during that period. It's in Mercury's decan and Venus bounds, and this is like a sword six energy. It's like you are living behind something to chase something. It's you like to learn through the traveling, and it also shows it he moves a lot with the tour or making a music kind of thing. It is very much like productive way because of the Venus. Because of the Venus, you know, it is very much like a productive energy, produce something, make something, also related to the art and design. It is elderly kind of energy. I know it sounds very weird, but his ninth house is associated with going abroad and making something, making an art kind of energy. And at the same time, good at elderly people. You will gain a benefit from the old woman. And let's move to the 11th house, Saturn. Saturn is currently in a fall in Aries, and he is going through his Saturn return period. Saturn's decan is Sun, bounce is a Jupiter, but they're having a mutual reception from Libra. The decan energy is like a 1-3. It is supportive and strong and really an enterprising energy. Mercury is having a dignities in Aries, and it is also related to making a good piece of art. And I know it's quite hard because Saturn is also retrograde, but at least it is in mutual reception, so that helps. Probably he felt quite a juggling kind of energy, or he is in a circus kind of energy in the 11th house theme. Probably this is like community of the people you are in. And probably this could be like he's thinking quite a lot about what kind of album to create, what kind of music he's gonna compose, what kind of direction he's gonna take with his teammates. Even though it's like in the position of the sun, but it still gets some reception and it's showing because of the Mercury bounce, he's thinking quite a lot, but he won't really show it. But he really cares about those people. It is also giving him the place he needs to work and improve quite a lot. And building a time, like a long stability, is the key for him. And this is the hardest part in his natal chart. And it's also telling him that he needs to really invest a lot of time. It is not the part he's gaining such an easy way. So I hope he could get through the Saturn return peacefully, but this is going to be a bit of loud energy because since the Saturn is a bit fall in the Aries. And it's getting quite long. So I'm gonna wrap it up his chart reading today. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any celebrities that you want me to do the chart reading, I'm happy to do it for you. And please leave the comment on the YouTube section, person who you want me to do the reading, but with an exact birth data. Exact birth data means the birth day, birth time, birthplace. So far, I did a chart reading of Bangchan. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you until the next time, hopefully.